Hello everyone, today is 15th of January. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Guys, first of all, let's have a look on today's GS folder. So today we will be taking a quote from Fumzile Imlambo, the executive director of the UN Women. She says, "There is no great force for change, for peace, for justice and democracy, for inclusive economic growth than a world of empowered women." Guys, this particular quote points out that empowering the women leads to the direct empowerment of the society, nation as a whole, as well as the global empowerment can be driven by the women's empowerment. Now, this particular thing has been proven by the empirical studies also, because the moment it has been seen that the women has been given the autonomy to expenditure, the outcomes with respect to the child health has been improved, learning outcomes have been improved, and the benefit has been huge, particularly for the girl child. Similarly, guys, into the patterns of the saving investment, everywhere a kind of a development has been seen when the women's have been given the autonomy. So guys, the world of empowerment of empowered women will be leading to a change onto all social, political, economic fronts. So this particular quote, guys, we can utilize into the GS paper number 1 into the topics of social empowerment, as well as into the GS paper number 2 in social justice and women related issues. So guys, that's it. And now let's take the today's newspaper analysis. Now guys, today first of all, on to the occasion of Makar Sankranti and Pongal, there is no edition of the Hindu newspaper for today, that is the 15th January. So we will not be able to take the news from there. However, some of the other important articles we will be taking from the other sources. However, guys, there also the news has been very much less. However, this first particular article has been taken from the Indian Express, the web edition, and here we can see that the world's oldest cave painting has been discovered into the Indonesia. Now guys, such kind of questions might be asked into the prelims, particularly into the mapping, because recently the map based questions have been picked up from those sites which have been into the news. So all these things will be looking here. Now guys, first of all, into the Indonesia, there is the Sulawesi island, which you can see here onto the map, and it is basically situated between the mainland Indonesia as well as the Australia. Now onto the Sulawesi. This cave art has been found, which is supposed to be the painting of the Sulawesi wart pig, and it has been called as that it has surpassed even the record of the earlier oldest painting. Now, the earlier oldest painting was also into the Sulawesi, Indonesia, and that painting was supposed to be 44,000 year old, and this painting, it is supposed to be minimum 45,000 year old painting. Now, this particular painting has been used by using the red ochre pigment, and here the pig has been shown that he is watching a fight between the two other pigs. However, guys, such kind of information is not that much important. We need to see the location of the island, that is, it is the part of the Indonesia. Now, guys, when we talk about the Sulawesi island, it has been an important island because here has been noted the presence of the hominins. Now guys, hominins, they include the modern human beings, their ancestors, and other human species also, which were existing but now they have been extinct. Now guys, it is believed that the modern humans, they got originated into the Africa and they moved out of Africa, and now it is supposed that even before the long migration of humans started to happen out of Africa, at that time already at the Sulawesi island, the modern humans and the hominids, they were present. So that particular thing is also a kind of a mystery. Now guys, the question comes that how it has been identified that this particular painting is so old. So into this particular capacity, guys, please keep in mind that the U series isotype analysis has been conducted onto this painting. Now what is this U series isotype analysis? Here the calcium carbonate which gets deposited onto the painting, it is analyzed and its age is actually ascertained, and by ascertaining this calcium carbonate's age, we ascertain the age of painting. Now this calcium carbonate, it is also called as the cave popcorn. So keep in mind that the cave popcorn is not a dish, it is a kind of a methodology into which the age of the paintings or the cave art is ascertained. So guys, that's all about this particular article. I hope that you have understood. Now we will be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Business Standard newspaper, and it is talking about the recent impeachment of the Donald Trump which has been carried into the House of Representatives. Now, guys, with this particular action, Donald Trump has become the only president into the history of the America which who have been impeached twice. Now, let's understand this entire process, that what has happened and what will be happening laterwards. So, guys, you might be knowing that recently the mob it captured the US Capitol building, and basically this event stunned the entire world, and it was called as the attack onto the democracy. Now, into this particular attack, you might be knowing that the incite event was caused by the Donald Trump when he said that the elections have been stolen, and he said that we need to fight like hell to reclaim this particular election. And by that particular thing, the protesters they entered into the Capitol building. Now, on to this particular matter, the US House of Representatives they have voted to impeach the Donald Trump. Now, guys, you might be knowing that simply if I use a kind of a very crude comparison, then as we have a parliament into India, there is the Congress into the United States, and this Congress is made up of two houses, that is the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, guys, into the House of Representatives, members come from their states, and they are every state has having the seat onto the proportion of the population. Whereas into the Senate, there are 100 members. That is, every state, irrespective of their size, it send two senators. Now, guys, whenever the president is to be impeached, the House of Representatives, any member can raise the charge, and the speaker will be admitting that whether the charges are admissible or not. Now, guys, the treason, bribery, or the high crimes and misdemeanors they could be used as a ground for impeaching the president. Moreover, guys, into the America there is the 14th Constitutional Amendment Act also, which provides that anybody who has been engaged into the insurrection or rebellion against the United States, he will be prohibited from holding the office. So here the 14th Constitutional Amendment Act has also been cited. Now, guys, into the House of Representative, after the charge has been raised, there is the House Judiciary Committee which analyzes the charges which have been made. And guys, here the speaker also has the power that the speaker if wants can admit that whether this particular resolution should be moved or it can be rejected also. Then, guys, the House Judiciary Committee they also need to give their approval by at least the simple majority of 51%. If they will give the approval, then the House of Representative as a whole will be debating this particular impeachment motion, and if they passes it by the 51% majority, then it will be moving to the Senate. Now, guys, into the House of Representative, the impeachment motion of Donald Trump has been approved, and now it has came to the Senate. Now, guys, here the members of the Senate or the senators they will be writing the bill of indictment, and as well as they will be calling the president that into the trial that will formally be started. Now, guys, into this particular trial, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the USA will be acting as the presiding officer, and the members of the Senate they will be acting as a jury. Now, into this entire trial, if jury as well as the Chief Justice finds that the president is guilty, then the president can be removed from the office. But that particular thing ultimately has to be voted by the 2 by third of the majority. That is, the 67% people need to vote. Now, guys, as far as impeachment of the US president is concerned, this is the second impeachment motion, and this is for first time into the history that is happening. Guys, in 2019, the Donald Trump was put onto the charges because it was said that he is coercing the Ukraine in order to provide some kind of narrative for the Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden at that point of time. So, because of such kind of behavior, the charges were raised. Now, guys, you need to understand, see, that if only the charges are proved and it is not ultimately passed here, we will still be calling it as an impeachment. Guys, there are two things. One is impeachment and other is the impeachment and removal. Now, even if the Senate here the bill doesn't passes and the 67% vote is not there, still the impeachment will be there. And if actually the impeachment and removal both are carried, then there will be the huge political ramification for the Donald Trump. He might not be able to hold the federal office out. After that, he might lose his secret service cover. He might not get the retirement pension, and there might also be a possibility that he will not be able to fight the 2024 presidential elections also. Now guys, when we are talking about the presidents, earlier the two presidents have been impeached, and they are the Andrew Johnsons, who was impeached in 1868, and the Bill Clinton, who was impeached into the 1998. Now guys, the Richard Nixon, he was also slapped with the articles of the impeachment, but even before that particular thing would have been taken, he himself resigned. So this is about all this particular aspect. Now guys, as we are talking about impeachment, into the case of the Indian president also, the impeachment is possible, which is mentioned into the article number 61. Now guys, into the context of the president of India, there are no such elaborate grounds as they are into the US. Rather, only the violation of the constitution has been provided as a ground. Now guys, these particular charges could be signed by one fourth of the member of the any house, and a 14-day notice should be given to the president, where the president can put forward the case. The guys, then the impeachment resolution is to be passed at least by the majority of the two-third of the total membership of one particular house which has raised. Then it will be going to the other house, it will also be investigating the matter, and if they are also in two-third, by the two-third of the total membership, if the bill is passed, then the Indian president will be standing impeached and removed. So guys, this is all with respect to the impeachment and removal of the president. Guys, please keep all such kind of basic informations into your mind, because guys, if you have seen the 2020 paper, already into the GS paper number 2, the question has been asked, where they have asked to compare the British as well as Indian judiciary, as how they are converging as well as diverging. So such kind of comparison directly now are being asked. Please keep it in your mind. So guys, that's it, and now we will be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this article has been taken from the Indian Express newspaper, and it is talking about the role of the social media into the wake of recent crisis that happened into the USA. And basically, it is discussing that how now the time has come that the social media needs to be properly regulated. Guys, this particular article will be important for our GS paper number 3, into which the role of the social media has been mentioned. Now guys, recently, as the US Capitol siege happened, so after that the social media banned the Donald Trump, and not only the Facebook and the Twitter did this, rather guys, the Amazon Web Services also banned one of the social media network, that is the Parler, who was still hosting the Donald Trump's account. It was said that the Parler had failed to moderate the content which is floating onto their website. So therefore, such kind of heavy handedness was shown by the social media as well as by the big tech. Now it was said that such a kind of an act is an act to self censor, and whenever the self censor is called, it is called as something which is violative of the freedom of speech and expression. However guys, now a classic dilemma has emerged, that where we need to stop so that it doesn't becomes a kind of a breach of freedom of speech and expression, and at the same time where we should progress so that the kind of a hateful speech is also not coming out. Now it has been said that this particular problem emerges because there is no clear cut distinction between two type of speeches: A, between the ideologically conservative speech and the harmful speech, and B, between the political opinion and an act of incitement. Sometimes there could be a possibility that into the name of curbing the harmful content, we might end up in curbing the ideologically conservative viewpoints, but actually they are not wrong, and if this thing happens, it will be the violation of speech and expression. And the same time guys, into the name of incitement, sometimes different political opinions can also be curbed, and this is also a kind of a violation of the freedom of speech and expression. So a question comes that how we need to make such kind of distinction. So guys, here it has been said that the social media, they need to be guided under the United Nations guiding principle on business and human rights, and by this particular thing they need to adopt a very clear wiseness, as well as they need to come out with very clear policies which curbs the hateful speech but also facilitates the difficult conservation, such as the conservation onto the women empowerment, gay rights, LGBTQ community. Even into the India, when we are talking, there was the status which was changed for the Jammu and Kashmir. Even into that particular context, the discussions needed to be there, and they are not actually needed to be curtailed as being something insightful of the violence or being something harmful. So such kind of a binary can only be created if the social media comes out with a very clear cut policy. Now guys, it was said that earlier these kind of matters were to be resolved into the realm of the court, where the court will be telling that what is the rightful exercise of freedom of speech and expression and what is hateful. But now this thing has shifted to the Facebook oversight board, who is taking up this particular role now. Now further, it has also been provided that actually social media's impact is different onto the different type of people. For example, guys, the social media might be a very important platform for a person who is a whistleblower or a person who is deprived or marginalized, because the social media happens only kind of a mechanism where he can raise his voice. However, when we are talking about the influential personalities such as the president of the USA, he is not only dependent onto the social media because his accessibility is very much wider. So social media's impact varies onto the person who is giving the speech. Moreover, guys, the effect of the particular communication or the speech or the consequences of that particular speech can also vary depending that who is speaking it. Guys, if it is spoken by some of the person who is not that much influential, there is no possibility that onto basis of his speech their violence will be happening, because people don't believe him to be an influencer or to be a cult personality. However, if the speech is being given by an influential personality, for example by the president, then by the virtue of his cult following, there is a very big possibility that it can roll out into the violence. So particularly, guys, when the irresponsible behavior are being shown by the powerful people, it needs to be curbed with even more propensity. So therefore, guys, these are the kinds of grounds onto which we can say that many a times the social media needs a kind of a regularization. Now, guys, one particular thing is also very true, that into the USA, when these big techs reacted, it only reacted when they found that into the Senate, the Republican majority has been lost, and they knew that now the sitting president Donald Trump might not be able to take any stern action against them. They did that particular thing. So why such kind of change of heart was not earlier? Moreover, guys, now the logic has been given by these two websites, that is the Twitter and the Facebook, that earlier they were not censoring the speech because it was having because the public officials, they are treated on a different kind of a ground and their speech is allowed seeing the public interest that it is going to serve. But this time the Donald Trump had did a kind of an action by which the balance between the public interest and the hatefulness has been broken out. So onto this particular ground, he has been now banned. So this is all, guys, into this particular direction. And please keep these particular things into your mind with respect to GS paper number 3. So that's it, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this article has been taken from the Indian Express and it is talking about the forest fires that have occurred into the Himachal Pradesh and why they are very common into this part of the country. Guys, this particular topic is very important for your GS paper number 1. Please keep it in your mind. Such kind of questions earlier has also been asked. Now, guys, recently there were the forest fires into the Kullu region which continued for several days, and earlier also there were the forest fires around the Shimla as well as into the other parts of the state. Now, first of all, guys, let's see the basic geography of this particular region. So, guys, Himachal Pradesh had classified 2 by 3rd area of their state as a forested area, but much of the area is permanently under the snow, under the glacier, or it is above the tree line. So, actually, the 28% area of the Himachal Pradesh, it is the forest, and according to the Forest Survey of India, Chir, pine, deodar, oak, kale, fir, and spruce are the common trees which are found here. Now, guys, when we talk about the forest fire into the Himachal Pradesh, they mostly occur into the low and the middle hill region. The reason being that this particular belt is concentrated by one specific type of tree, that is the Chir pine tree, which have these needle like leaves. And guys, once the dry season comes, they fall onto the ground and they made this kind of a combustible material where even if the slightest of the ignition will be there, it will be catching up the fire, and with the help of the winds, this forest fire will be spreading out into a big area. Now, guys, if we find the initial reasons for such ignition, they could be man-made as well as they could be natural. Now, into the man-made capacity, we can see that, guys, as people are going for camping into this region, they are igniting the bonfires. They sometimes accidentally they drop the cigarette which has not been completely extinguished, or many a times the nearby people, as they are bringing their animals for the grazing into this region, they also ignite the fire, and the residues of such fire can promote the forest fire into the region as a whole. Then guys, there are the natural reasons also. For example, these needle like dry leaves, when they touch with the electric poles, then there is the spark which is created. Then guys, when they are touching each other, then also because of the friction and the dryness, some ignition can be provided which can convert into a big fire. Then guys, see, once this particular fodder it gets burned, then below it also there is huge decaying material such as humus, woods, shrubs, which also support this particular fire, and the fire can spread out. Now, guys, what are the severe harms of these forest fires? A, it destroys the organic material, which impacts the fertility as well as the productivity of the soil. Then, guys, B, it also, when it burns the organic material, it exposes the top layer to the erosion, and by that particular thing, the soil erosion can be very much expedited. Then, guys, thirdly, it kills the wild animals, it burns their eggs, and therefore the animals, they can run out from their safe havens and they can end into the human settlements. Finally, guys, the forest fire itself and come and extend to the human settlement, where it can pose danger to the human life as well as human property. Guys, according to the Himachal Forest Department, it is assumed that every year the forest fire are causing a loss to the tune of 3 to 4 crore rupees. Now, further, there could be some generic solutions for controlling the forest fire also. That is, A, all the camping sites, they need to be cleared with the by the biomass which might cause the forest fires. After that, guys, there needs to be the strips that are to be grown at the regular intervals, which needed to be having the fire hardy plant species or such kind of a species which might not facilitate the spread of the fire. Then guys, after that, there is also the early detection. Fine, there needs to be the firefighting squads which are needed to be deployed. And then guys, further, there needs to be the meteorological data that needs to be collected from time to time, and it needs to be seen what are the strips which are more prone to the forest fire, and such kind of information needs to be disseminated. So this is all into this particular direction, guys. There could be very much possibility onto this particular question, into this particular thing, into GS paper number 1. So guys, that's it. I hope that you are able to understand all the issues and the initiative is proving helpful to you. Thank you so much.